Mayor, I'll make a motion.
Okay, Councilman Gordon.
I'd like to move that we approve the application from Quick Car Lube and Tune for a permit to allow the placement of an outside storage building on their property located at 4500 Swisher Road with the addendum of a 1-year agreement to be renewed and for the request for screening.
Okay, Councilman Gordon made a motion. We have a second.
Is there a particular kind of screening?
I've never seen a portable storage unit screen, so I wouldn't know what to suggest. It's 40 feet long and 8 feet wide. I don't know what to screen it with. Or maybe if we allow it until we actually have construction back there or something to look at. And if we do, if and when we do develop back there, they have to come back and reissue the permit or something.
Okay.
I just think that it would not be, we need to be consistent in the town. And if others are allowed to have them, I think we need to allow this business, and this business should be just as important to be satisfied as well.
Okay, Councilman Gordon made a motion. A second. Okay, motion dies for lack of second. All right, moving on to D5. Consider an act on the preliminary final plat for the King Brothers Boat Storage, Phase 2, 5.214 acres, in the John Ramsey Survey abstract. Number 1, abstract number 1075, Town of Hickory Creek, Denton County, Texas. Okay, this was passed by the P&Z. Any questions on this? I know Ms. King's here.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Randy, as you know, is very passionate about this project. I left him on the staircase with a bad back. He cannot get up right. So I'm here, I'm Paula King, and I'm co-owner of King Brothers. We do go before Board of Adjustment. I do want to thank the town council for all of your help and explaining and prefacing our time on the board. They did approve the variance for us.
Okay, discussion. Councilman, questions for Ms. King?
I think that I've got all my questions answered.
I think I have all my questions answered as well as I've heard it. This was discussed at P&Z that I attended as well as a former council meeting. So,
What's the timeline on it, Ms. King?
Pardon me?
The timeline?
We would like to start immediately with dirt work, and of course I'm in the office, so forgive me, I don't know all the technical things, the order in which it will happen, but he's ready to begin as soon as we get an approval on the plans.
Any questions? We'll make a motion.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion. We approve the preliminary final plat for the King Brothers Boat Storage, Phase 2, 5.214 acres in the John Ramsey Survey, abstract number 1075, Town of Hickory Creek, Denton County.
Okay, Councilman McKinney's made a motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
Councilman Wise, seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Item 7, consider an act on the landscaping plan for the King Brothers Boat Storage, Phase 2, 5.241 acres in the John Ramsey Survey, abstract number 1075. 6, I'm sorry. Consider an act on preliminary final site plan for the King Brothers Boat Storage, Phase 2, 5.214 in the John Ramsey Survey, abstract 1075, Town of Hickory Creek, Denton County, Texas. Any discussions on that item?
They're doing all this first.
Okay, entertain a motion.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the preliminary final site plan for King Brothers Boat Storage, Phase 2, 5.214 acres in the John Ramsey Survey, abstract number 1075, Town of Hickory Creek, Denton County, Texas.
Okay, Councilman Wise, you've made a motion. Have a second.
Second.
Councilman Gordon, seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Item 7, consider an act on the landscaping plan for the King Brothers Boat Storage, Phase 2, 5.214 acres in the John Ramsey Survey, abstract 1075, Town of Hickory Creek, Denton County, Texas. Any questions on the landscape plan?
I see the P&Z did approve the landscaping plan.
Yes.
I do have one question, Ms. King. Do you and your husband plan on continue maintaining the mowing and the?
Yes, we do, and it's my understanding he did submit an affidavit to Amy or Christie,
He
who
did.
Oh, okay.
stated that he does plan and desire to continue maintaining both Hotan and
Any other questions? All right, entertain a motion.
Mayor, I'd like to move to accept the landscaping plan for King Brothers Boat Storage Phase 2, 5.214 acres on the John Ramsey survey, abstract number 1075, town of Hickory Creek, Benton County, Texas.
Okay, Councilman Gordon made a motion, a second. Councilman Carter seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. King.
thank you.
Okay, moving on to item A, consider an act on the ordinance of the town of Hickory Creek, Texas, amending hereto amended its comprehensive zoning ordinance and amending the official zoning map of the town by changing the zoning on a certain tract line described as approximately 117.0413 acres of land located generally adjacent to the south side of Jerkville between Harbor Lane and Sycamore Bend Road.
Right.
Good evening again. Let me just hit the high points here. I think you probably have seen the record from the Planning and Zoning Commission. Some of the folks that are here this evening were here at that meeting as well. So I have the high points for you. We presented a preliminary site plan, which you see here. It does show 129 lots. That's subject to a couple of other reviews and approvals by you later on. This is a zoning hearing, so this is really just the first step. The later steps come in terms of the planning, also the drainage, also the engineering plans, all of which you will be opportunity to review and through the board, send back for revisions. So with this one, this evening we're talking about PD zoning. And the reason for that is to go ahead and offer flexibility in terms of lot size and things like that. The property is presently zoned SF2 and SF3. That means between 9,000 and 14,000 square foot lots, probably between 230 and 300 homes could be built out there on the property today. I mean, with a compliant plat, compliant zoning, that's what really could result. That doesn't contribute to land. That doesn't contribute to the area and fine homes around there. So the idea was to go ahead and modify that to a standard that would be an average of 15,000 square foot, with a few, some that could be as small as 12,000. And I'll just point out a few and let me go into a lot of detail for you. The only place we really get into 12,000 is in some of the elbow lots, as we call them. And the reason is that the standard's going to apply kind of the same when you go around the corner. That's the only reason for that. But the entire site would be 15,000 square foot average. The minimum lot home size would be 2,500 square feet. And the concern raised this evening about drainage is a valid one. There is some drainage to be worked out on that side, and I think everyone knows that. Going forward with this zoning, there would be less drainage to work out because there would be fewer homes. 129 of this layout versus 230 to 300. Also, there would be less traffic. Again, for the same reason, 129 families versus 230 to 300. So the thing, though, that quite honestly is driving this is that the merits of the property, the beauty of the property can be preserved given some flexibility, and that's what the PD offers. Flexibility to go ahead and retain the 5 to 6 acres for an amenity center, retaining also the equestrian center, the large area there, which is 22 acres for open space, which is the pond. It could be otherwise closed up. We've got to address the drainage, but this gives the flexibility within the lots to absorb some medium-sized, some really larger size, not strictly all the same size as you would have in the present zone. So I think that pretty well sums up where we are. We have met with the fire department, talked about some issues. They appear to be fine with it. We also met with the utility district, and there's a lot of reviews and approvals there to go. But the importance of the utility district, while that's not really your area of review, the importance of that is that the utilities will be brought to this site. These others are not presently available. So that means anybody along that path from the south end of this building all the way over to that site would have water service available. There's a good 12-inch water line brought from here to the site. I mean, it's for economic development, which you're talking about a little bit earlier. That means opportunities for people to go ahead and build or develop on those tracks as well. Road improvements, let's talk just for a moment about those. Park Ridge Drive we sometimes think north being straight up on the plans. Park Ridge Drive is Sycamore is here, Park Ridge goes that direction north, goes on the side. Park Ridge is scheduled for construction beginning next month for a period of about 5 months. It'll bring a very nice paved street from all the way from Swisher to Turbeville, and really alleviate a lot of pressure for Turbeville Road, and be an alternate route for traffic on here. Turbeville Road, on the frontage to this piece of property, the developer has agreed to go ahead and I'll let them speak to that because it's not my commitment, it's theirs, to go ahead and fund pre-ordinance that and the improvements to Turbeville Road. Not required in the ordinance, but it's a gesture being made, is to go ahead and, at the time of building permits for each and every home on the side, go ahead and collect the fee and give to the city with the town. That fee, go ahead and hold aside for improvements to Sycamore and Harbor. In the area here, not elsewhere in town, but just strictly for those roads. Understanding there's going to be some additional traffic, those roads could use some beefing up, so those funds would then be available as well. So that's a very capsulized view of where we are. I think some of you may have read a little background on this, read the minutes of the P&Z meetings. Kurt Wilson and Ron Barnes from Centurion American, the sponsor of the project here this evening, can answer some other questions. Also, Mark Brazos, the firm who developed the PD ordinance. So if you have questions along that line, it's probably better addressed over there. But I'd be happy to address any questions you have. I hope I address some of the concerns and questions that people who live nearby have addressed as well.
Okay. Any questions? Is that there? That's my board.
You have listed here phased improvement across the package for this, and that initially there'll be 49 homes, lots developed. Could you point out for our audience where that is? I see that in my packet, I just want to make sure.
I'd be glad to. The idea right now is to move ahead with 49. A lot of developers decide to go ahead with a much smaller package, but quite honestly, in the economic sense, you can't kind of turn the crank unless you really have considerable investment. The first 49 are planned to come off of Harbor and pretty well be the area from the end of the north, like the large home in this area, all the way up to this area here. So it'd be pretty much the centerpiece of the site. The gray areas, or the brown areas in here, by the way, are equestrian trails. Everybody will have one of those in their backyard, so they can go directly from their home, wherever it happens to be, on an equestrian trail over to the equestrian center, if they'd like to do that. And that will all be part of the HOA maintenance responsibility.
Do you know the average lot size for the first 49 lots phase? In that phase?
I'm going to say it's probably 16, 17, 18,000, somewhere in that vicinity. Because they're the yellow ones that you see on here, the pale yellow ones, the rectangular ones are basically 100 by 200. So those are about 20,000. When you take in some of the pie shapes around here, that's why they're not really all 20,000.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions regarding this piece?
I remember on one of the earlier drawings that there was some connectivity from Harbor Lane all the way through, but I noticed that you might talk about what you've discovered when you've looked at the drainage and the need to keep those ponds as they are, improve those.
Sure, I'd be happy to. The survey, which shows kind of an existing condition, is on here, and the little pale blue spots, if you will, are the existing ponds. Now, this year, the ponds aren't that big because it's very dry out there. What we discovered in the process of reviewing the site is that there's a very large floodplain that encumbers a good portion of the site in this area. And you're right, the earlier version of the land plan had 8 land plans on this one, so it's a good bit of thought and review. The earlier version actually had a street that connected all the way across and through here. And our concern is that one of the first things that really needs to happen to the site is that the drainage needs to be resolved before anything's built. And that'll be in motion because that needs to be addressed and it affects this property as well as the property across the street to the north. So that needs to be resolved, and our concern was not to over-represent something as far as where the lots could be placed. So for that reason, the pond